Blacktopia, Episode 6, Crisis.
Atlantic Ocean. Destin swims through the ship after dawn.
How do you know my name, merman?
It was written on your clothes when I saved you. That orange jumpsuit wasn't very fashionable, by the way.
Dawn pokes Destin in his chest, then flicks his nose. Destin laughs for the first time in years.
How big is this bubble? I can't even see the end of it.
We're not in one. We're in the outer lands, off the south coast.
Well, how am I breathing? Am I dead?
The sea legs our founding matriarch invented allow the owner to breathe through the gills in the prosthetic. She seems cold, but she's brilliant. Her mother and grandmother were billionaire musicians back in the before times. Beansy and Blue Ivy, I hear?
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of them.
Destin tries to maneuver like Dawn, but falls in the sand.
You think you've heard of the best artist to ever live? You were asking for a wake-up call, dork.
Dawn giggles as Destin picks him up and brushes off the sand. Dawn's fingers trace Destin's cheek. Destin blushes. An intrusive flashback of Trip crosses Destin's mind. He backs away from Dawn and wipes tears forming in his eyes.
Hey, come back.
Following behind, Dawn spins Destin around and wipes his tears away. Dawn hugs him tightly as he cries. Delomi and Nefertiti watch with binoculars from a nearby guard post. The founding matriarch and queen mother eavesdrop on Dawn and Destin through a bioluminescent wiretap made of pulsating moonroot.
I told you we should have had them executed.
Don't raise your voice at me, child.
I am queen now, mother.
You are, but you have always been a child at heart. You want to live without men because you hate your father? You are grown. Act like it.
Tia, who had been listening from behind a seaweed curtain, trips. Zara, who had been behind Tia, runs away. She signs in ASL the word,
"Sorry." Don't leave me here. Come back.
What do you think you're doing here, child?
I don't think we should kill people.
We are conducting official business. Adults only.
I'm 24 now, Mom.
Then your brain still isn't fully developed.
Your brain is decaying by the day.
Tia Michelle Nandi, what did you just say to your queen mother?
Now you are going to get it, child.
I'm standing up for not just what I believe in. I'm standing up for what's right.
Enough! You have no idea the lengths I have gone to protect you and the people of this place. The world above is a cruel and unforgiving dystopia. Your ancestors have built a utopia here, and it is my responsibility to protect it by any means necessary.
You don't know everything. You may think there were worse dangers in the past, but the end of your wars were the start of mine. I have never known true peace, only the fake facades a half-assed approach creates.
You better walk your spoiled ass back to your chambers before I whoop your red-boned little butts.
Watch it, girls. Both of you.
I am the one in charge here, and it is my decision to make. For better or for worse, will deactivate the sea legs of all servants upon 20 minutes into their shifts to ensure execution, starting with those two outside.
In the South Atlantic Ocean, Dawn and Destin swim in circles around each other like lovebirds.
I'm glad that made you feel better, but it's time we get back to camp.
Don't play with me like you didn't love every... Don't play with me like you didn't love every single minute of it.
You're naughty. No wonder Icarus wants to rope you into his trap.
What do you mean by trap?
I told you not to call me that. I don't want the others making me feel like any more of an outcast.
Babe, focus. What do you mean by Ike's a plant?
Well, years ago, another refugee from the surface showed up. He was this little deaf boy no one knew what to do with. Queen Mina sent him back up because her husband had been caught in a scandal, selling information about our whereabouts to this secret neo-Nazi society called the Porcelain Hand.
Yeah. I think I've heard of them.
You think you've heard of them? Have you been living under a rock? The Hand is the name for those creeps on the surface who started those company towns in order to rule what's left of the world.
Getting dizzy, Destin falls into Dawn's arms. Dawn places Destin on the seafloor, and a school of glowing fish pass.
I went through some of Ike's journals while he was asleep, and I read about this one place he used to be guard for called the Box. On the surface, it's like a theme park, but to keep the place running, they kidnap people from other civilizations and trap them underground. There's this tunnel system guarded by all kinds of drones. Down in the depths, they bleed people dry in bathtub-like sleeping pods and create clones of them.
Flashbacks of Destin's escape strobe in Destin's mind. Dawn runs their fingers through Destin's hair as he tries to catch his breath. The elders still watch from afar.
What do they do with the clones?
Whatever they want. They're part AI, so it's legal to sleep with them, chop them up, whatever.
DD, my memory's hazy, but before I came to Blacktopia, I was escaping from the Box. The Porcelain Hand kidnapped my family. Oh God, I'm such an idiot. I even told him when to gun down this whole place. We have to go back to the shipwreck. No, like right now, Dawn, right now.
Destin, it's okay. The coronation is until next week. We have time. We'll just explain it to the royal daughter that we made a mistake. She's nice. She'll help us.
She'll help us.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I mean, her mother wanted to exile us.
But she didn't. Not yet, at least.
Okay, enough. I've heard enough. I can't take it anymore. I feel like I can't breathe.
Dawn looks down at Destin's fishtail and notices their neon glow slowly fading away. Powering down flashes across their hip joints. No longer able to breathe, bubbles escape from both their lips. Dawn reaches for their own throat. As their eyes begin to bulge, turning blue, Dawn wraps Destin on their back and crawls to the castle. Dawn tries to pull themselves by their scepter, but their vision begins to fade. As Dawn begins to pass out, the school of fish return, lifting the lovers and carrying them to the castle. Destin and Dawn phase through the giant bubble and fall onto the glowing sand together. Coughing, Dawn crawls to Destin.
Destin? Destin! Wake up, Destin!
Dawn performs CPR on Destin, breaking his ribs in the process. Tears stream from Dawn's cheeks as they pause between compressions and listening for signs of breathing. Desperate, Dawn continues until a guard tries to pull them away.
Don't touch me!
Dawn gives Destin 2 more breaths of air and he immediately sits up. Destin vomits seaweed on everyone around. Covered in fluids, Dawn smiles as they're dragged away. Destin is pulled in the opposite direction. The last thing Destin sees is the royal daughter yelling something at the oracle until 2 guards restrain her. They levitate her to a bedroom window at the top of a spire. Tia points toward Dawn, and Destin see them impaled with a guard's trident. Before Destin can scream, he's impaled in the chest. End of episode 6.